I express myself mostly dancing.
I use a lot of different mediums, but lately my main medium has been music. I've been making music.
I don't try to limit myself to any type of medium. I'll use anything. I'll even use my body, like when I'm doing like martial arts, kickboxing. I see that as art too.
I'm both a musician and an actor.
Recently, I've mainly been using watercolors.
Primarily acrylic paint.
Anything that we call art is more than just like drawing on a piece of paper or painting. It's just anything that you do with intent behind it, really, to make it art.
For me, art, it's everything that you do to express your feelings towards something. It could be like a social issue. It can be something that you're going through life. But for me, art, it's everything. And it really, like any type of art, for me, it's really special because it brings the passion of individuals.
Art is taking all your influences and outer stimulus and regurgitating it all together back into the world.
Art for me is a way to express my truest self, a way to make light out of darkness. It's kind of my weapon against my own anxieties and my stress and my depression.
Art to me is so many different things. It comes in a lot of different forms, but like more recently I've been doing art therapy, and art has been like the only way I've been able to communicate in a productive and healthy way of like what I've gone through and what progress I've made. Art is healing. It's a full on expression of who I am as a person.
Art to me means doing something with the intention of making it art.
Art is a constant in my life, even when I'm not physically making art. I feel like I see art everywhere, so it's always like an active part of my life. Even if I'm like walking to class and there's a sunset, that's art to me.
It helped me with my social skills and to put myself out there without being ashamed or feeling stupid. And especially when I got to university, it was what helped me first to make more friends, especially people from my community. And that was through dance, and then through theater. It makes me have the most wonderful friends.
There's been times where it's like almost meditative. I don't know if you've ever gotten so in depth with something where, you know, you're not even like thinking about it. It's just like second nature, like subconscious. At the end of it, you make something, so there's that, whether it's shit or if it's not, like you made something was nothing, and either way, like you put something into existence, I guess, so you can always take that away. Because it's not always meditative, because sometimes it's more like work than anything. But it's a form of expression, things you don't know how to get into words or concepts or something you want to get out of your head that's not as simple as just writing it down. Or
art has helped me more specifically with a lot of my childhood trauma and then the loss of both my parents, because without it, I don't think I would have been able to communicate or start to understand what I've gone through just as a young adult. And then like obviously as a child, I would go out all the time as a kid and just draw whatever I saw, and I didn't notice at the time, but I was definitely part of my healing process. It helps me in so many different ways that you just can't really explain.
Well, growing up, it was hard for me because I had a family member who was very emotionally abusive, and my way to escape that was through my art. A way of reaching out to other people who might be having the same problems, having the same issues, having the same trauma, and a way of like reaching out to those people and telling them that they're not alone, just like I was hoping that I wasn't alone. I write lyrics. The lyrics that I write are very personal, and they all have to do with working through issues that I've been working through, but kind of putting it outside of myself, taking it from the perspective of somebody else, so that in the same way, it's both about me and anybody else that might be going through the same thing.
Sometimes art doesn't help me. Sometimes art negatively affects me. You know, sometimes I almost feel like I'm like upset that like art chose me because I want to make money. I want to have something that's going to like be a solid future. And art is really not a solid future if you're going to make that your whole go-to everything. It's kind of a toss-up and it's a gamble, but I don't really have a choice.
Art helps me not only express myself, because sometimes I feel like it's really hard for me to put into words how I feel. It also helps me to heal through like really stressful times in my life or traumatic times in my life. I always find myself turning to art. It also helps me to like bond with people. My mom has recently been starting to paint a lot of watercolor, and so now we're like trying to find things that we can do together. We've painted together. So I just feel like it does so much more than just, you know, entertain me or even just to express myself. Like it goes a lot deeper.
Art is power. Art is life. And art is what you make of it.